Hello students, I am Dr. Sangeeta Sindhu from Department of Food and Nutrition, CCS HAU Hisar, and today we will be talking about value addition of mushrooms. After this lecture, you will be able to appreciate the preservation of mushrooms using different methods like drying, canning, steep preservation, and use of mushrooms in various conventional value-added products such as mushroom pickle, biscuits, soup powder, nuggets, papad, etc. Use of mushrooms in various non-conventional value-added products like mushroom fortified corn extrudates, ready-to-use or ready-to-cook products, cakes, noodles, pasta, etc. As well as you will be able to recognize and cook various mushroom recipes by yourself. Before we start about other things, we need to understand why mushrooms are so important for us, so important to be part of our diet. Mushrooms, also known as khumbi or kukurmuta in Hindi, are the most prominent group of edible higher fungi, and they have the ability to bioconvert inedible plant waste directly into palatable food. Mushrooms are one of the most prominent functional foods for humans, and when I say functional food, it means that they have not only the nutritional but also medicinal value for us. Mushrooms are popular for their meaty, biting texture, their umami flavor, nutritional as well as their medicinal value. Nutritionally, mushrooms form an excellent source of high quality proteins and contain most of the essential amino acids in good proportion. They are rich in vitamins and minerals. They have the unique ability to make vitamin D when exposed to UV light. In fact, mushrooms are the only edible plant source of vitamin D. Also, they are high in dietary fiber and antioxidants, and these are the nutritional qualities which provide them, which attribute them to medicinal properties. Major medicinal properties attributed to mushrooms include anti-cancer, antibiotic and antiviral activities, immune response stimulating effects, as well as blood lipid lowering effects. Next, we need to understand, along with the importance of mushrooms, what is the concept of value addition. Value addition is the extra value created over and above the original value of something. In horticulture, value addition is the process in which a high price is realized for the same volume of a primary product. This may be done by means of processing, packing, upgrading the quality, or other such methods. Value addition is done primarily to improve the profitability of farmers. If I have to give an example, I would like to talk about potatoes when they are converted to chips. You look at the price of the potatoes and you look at the price of the chips. There is a vast difference. So, selling chips will give you higher profits as compared to selling of potatoes. Same, when you sell tomatoes or you make it into sauce and you sell the sauce, that again gives you a vast difference in profits. Fruits can be value added in the form of jam. So, these are some of the examples why we need to do value addition. So, why value addition in mushrooms? We know mushrooms are nutritionally so beneficial, they must be consumed. So, why we need to add value? Actually, mushrooms are highly perishable commodities and they start deteriorating immediately after their harvest because they contain almost 90% moisture. Mushrooms do not bear any protective covering, therefore, the rate of respiration from surface is very high. Development of brown color and loss of firmness are the first signs for deterioration of mushrooms. Under ambient conditions also, they have a short shelf life of only 1 to 2 days. So, processing and preservation of mushroom is very important if we want to keep the wheels of this industry moving. There are several ways in which we can add value to the mushrooms. First thing is that we increase their shelf life, or we convert them into some product that has better taste or better acceptability, or we make some convenient foods out of them. Convenience foods means something that is ready to cook or something that is ready to be eaten as such. For example, chips are a ready to eat food. So, the various ways we can add value is by making dehydrated mushrooms, by making mushroom powder, or by canning of mushrooms, or putting mushrooms in steeping solution. This will add to the shelf life, providing frozen mushrooms, making mushroom pickle, or making recipes such as jams, sweets, soups, or biscuits. Even the novel products like mushroom fortified corn exudates, cakes, vegetarian sausages, and instant noodles can be made out of mushrooms. First example is, as I said, we can also make convenience food. So, the first example is fresh sliced mushroom. Sliced mushroom have the opportunity as fresh, ready to use product and convenience food. Actually, most of the people don't know how to wash, clean or slice the mushrooms, and that is why they do not add mushrooms to their diet. And sometimes the lady of the house or the cook of the house, they will not have enough time to go with the washing and slicing. So, they prefer such convenience food which is ready to be cooked. For the purpose, we have to soak whole mushroom for 10 minutes in the solution of citric acid or hydrogen peroxide, and then slice them and pack them. This dipping in the citric acid or hydrogen peroxide, it preserves their color. It will prevent the enzymatic browning. Such mushrooms, when stored at 4 degrees, will have a shelf life of 19 days. And these two treatments of dipping and the low temperature, they reduce the microbial spoilage and improve the keeping quality of the sliced mushroom. So, drying and canning are two very popular methods of preservation, and for short term preservation we can also keep mushrooms in salt solution, that is steep preservation. First, about drying. Mushrooms like oyster, shiitake, wood ear mushroom, etc. can be easily sun dried, or you can use cabinet dryers or the solar dryers. But if you are using the cabinet dryer or the solar dryer, the temperature should not go beyond 55 to 60 degrees. While sun drying, mushrooms should be dried in a dust-free area and in containers where these do not get dispersed with wind. Mushrooms having open gills should be freshly dried with gill side upwards, preferably in shade, and then dried in sun. Additional advantage of sun drying is the increase in vitamin D content in the mushroom. Temperatures above 60 degrees is not desirable as it leads to charring of sugars, loss of flavor, and also decrease in rehydrability, that is the gain of weight on rehydration of the dry products. Rehydrated mushrooms can be used just like fresh mushrooms for preparing vegetables or pickles or any recipe that a fresh mushroom can be used. For example, I will give you an example of mushroom pickle. If we are preparing out of fresh mushroom, we will first of all wash it in 0.03 to 0.05% of KMS or the potassium permanganate solution, and then blanch it for 5 minutes at 85 degrees C. But if we are using the dry mushroom, then we directly blanch it for 5 minutes. That will help in rehydration, and we will go directly for the salt curing process. In the salt curing process, 20 grams of sodium chloride per gram of mushroom is added and kept overnight. The excess water that oozes out of mushroom is removed on the next day. Mushrooms are allowed to dry for 2 to 3 hours, and spices, salt, preservatives are mixed to the desired taste and quality of the mushroom pickle. So, the quality of mushroom will be same whether you are preparing it out of the fresh mushroom or the dried mushroom. Then we can also grind these dried mushrooms into powder and use them to make various products such as chutney, biscuits, soup, bread, cake or any other bakery products. We can also use them for making instant soups or the corn exudates, sausages and even noodles. In powder form, they can be added to any recipe from about 4% to 10 to 12% rate. If you have to prepare mushroom soup, instant mushroom soup powder, then we need mushrooms, dried mushrooms or the oyster or the button mushrooms, and grind them in a pulverizer to pass through 0.5 mm sieve. This mushroom powder, about 20 gram, is then mixed with 25 grams of milk powder, corn flour 40 gram, salt 8 gram, sugar 3 gram, black pepper 2 gram and oregano 2 gram. This soup mix has to be mixed with 6 times quantity of water for the preparation of good quality mushroom soup with characteristic aroma and taste. If we want to prepare nuggets, nuggets are a very favorite recipe with the kids also. For preparation of mushroom nuggets, mushroom powder is mixed with the black gram, that is the urad dal powder, in the ratio of 1:8, and the paste is prepared by adding required quantity of water. Salt at the rate of 2% and red chili powder at the rate of 1% are added to the prepared paste, and round balls of 2 to 4 centimeter diameter are made. The prepared balls are spread over a steel tray and are sun-dried. These mushroom nuggets can be straight away deep fried and used as snacks, or they can be used in vegetable curry preparation. Mushroom papad are another popular recipe, and it can also be made from the same mixture, using it with the black gram powder and mushroom powder. Then we can have some novel foods from the mushroom powder, like mushroom fortified corn exudates. Fortification in exudates to a level of 20% if it is being used as a paste, or 10% if we are using mushroom powder. This is possible with single and twin screw extruders to give exudates of acceptable quality. We can also make mushroom based vegetarian sausages, and these can be prepared from fresh mushrooms by adding 5% saturated fat and binding agents such as carrageenan, soy protein concentrate, casein or xanthan gum. These sausages can also be made out of the mushroom powders. Mushroom fortified instant noodles. Mushroom fortified ready to cook instant noodles of acceptable quality and high nutritive value can be prepared by fortifying noodle dough with about 4% of the mushroom powder. Next important method to enhance the shelf life is canning of mushrooms. Canning is a technique by which mushrooms can be stored for longer periods up to a year, and most of the international trade in mushroom is done in this form. For the purpose of canning, we need to wash the mushrooms, cut and slice them and immerse them in KMS solution at the rate of 0.5%. Then we blanch them in citric acid solution for 5 minutes, and the concentration of citric acid will be 0.1 to 0.2% for improvement of color, and then we fill the mushrooms in plain cans. Further, we add hot brine solution which contains about 1 to 2% salt with 0.1% citric acid. After adding the brine, for exhausting, the can will be heated in water at 80-degree temperature for 3 to 5 minutes. This will remove any gases from inside the liquid, and further these will be seamed. After seaming, the cans are pressure processed by autoclaving at 10 to 15 pounds for 15 to 20 minutes. Further, they are labeled and stored. They have a good shelf life of even up to an year. If we have to preserve them for a short duration, then we can go for steeping also. This method is simple and economical, and the mushrooms can be preserved for short periods by steeping them in the solution of salt or acids. First part remains the same as canning. You wash them, cut them, immerse them in KMS solution and blanch them in citric acid solution. Further, we simply cool them and prepare our steeping solution with about 15% salt, 0.05% citric acid and 100 ppm of sulfur dioxide. Fill the mushrooms in the glass bottles, put the steeping solution, put caps and seal them airtight, label them and store them. These mushrooms, whether they have been dried, they have been steeped, they have been canned, can be used just like the fresh mushrooms. And now we will discuss some common mushroom preparations. Mushrooms can be used in our daily life as salads, as tomato soup, as pakoras or as any vegetable preparation. To use mushroom as salad, we clean the button mushrooms thoroughly and cut these into flat, thin pieces and directly use them as salad, or you saute them a little. For the latter, that is for saute, put little oil on tawa, Lightly fry the mushrooms, sprinkle black pepper and lemon juice before serving it as salad. It is a recipe so simple that even a child can make it. Here are some examples of the vegetables that can be prepared. In fact, mushrooms can be used for making vegetables just like any other vegetable available in market. The only difference is that other vegetables, if they are overcooked, they will soften. But mushroom, if it is overcooked, it will become more tender. So, right time of cooking is important. These are some of the examples like garlic mushroom, shahi mushroom or matar mushroom. The recipes will remain same as you make it with the paneer. Again, just like mushroom tikka, mushroom pakora or mushroom biryani, if we mix it with other vegetables and rice. Even mixed vegetable recipe also contains mushrooms. These are very simple ways of adding mushroom to our daily life. We can also prepare murabba or the mushroom preserve. For preparing mushroom preserve, fresh button mushrooms are graded, washed, pricked and blanched in 0.05% KMS solution for 10 minutes. Blanched mushrooms are then dipped in 50-degree Brix sugar solution and refrigerated overnight. Next day, mushrooms are strained out of sugar solution and to the solution we add 0.1% citric acid and sufficient sugar and heat them to attain a strength of 60-degree Brix. Mushrooms are then again dipped into the solution and kept overnight. This process is repeated to raise the concentration of syrup to 70-degree Brix and mushrooms are dipped into it for about a week to prepare the preserve. Preserve is then drained out of the sugar syrup and filled in a container with freshly prepared sugar syrup of 68-degree Brix. Containers are then sealed airtight and stored. Another good example is mushroom chips. For preparing mushroom chips, freshly harvested button mushrooms are washed, sliced to about 2 mm thickness and blanched in 2% brine solution. Mushrooms are dipped overnight in a solution of 0.1% of citric acid and 1.5% sodium chloride along with 0.3% of red chili powder. After draining off the solution, mushrooms are subjected to drying in a cabinet dryer at 60 degrees for about 8 hours. Further, it is fried in refined oil and here we have some good quality tasty chips available to us. After mixing the spices, the chips are packed in polypropylene packets and sealed. Packing and packaging of mushroom is also very important and adds value to it because if we use the right methods, we will be enhancing their shelf life. Mushrooms are usually packed in polypropylene bags of 250 to 500 gram capacities. Packaging of mushroom in polypropylene bag with moisture absorber can enhance their shelf life better. Modified atmosphere is created in a sealed package of fresh product by respiratory gas exchange such as oxygen intake and carbon dioxide evolution, and the optimum atmosphere for achieving the maximum shelf life reported is 0.1% oxygen and 5% carbon dioxide. So, by using this modified atmosphere, we can enhance the shelf life of mushrooms. Quality assurance is very important factor I am again emphasizing because if you are taking up entrepreneurship in this field, you will not get as much price for simple plain mushrooms packed as you will get for your value added products. But if the value added products being provided by us do not keep up to their quality, you will not be able to get the right price. That is why quality assurance, though I have dealt it at the end, but it is one of the most important things. And why these visible open gills are negative factors? Because that shows that the time period has been too long. The gills will open up only after the mushrooms they are kept for a longer time. So that is why they are taken up as a negative factor. Any browning will indicate that there has been either bruising or enzymatic browning is there, discoloration is there. So that does not look good to the consumer and that will also lower down its cost. You will not be able to fetch the same price as you can for a clean and a bright looking, well rounded cap mushroom with a smooth glossy surface. So, I hope that after this lecture you will be able and you will want to include the mushrooms in your daily life, in your daily food plate, and also this is something that can give you an entrepreneurship opportunity. Now, I would like to take you to provide you some of the references that I have used, and that can also provide you further guidance if you want to develop some recipes out of mushrooms. Once again, I would like to emphasize that cooking with mushrooms is not difficult, it is not time consuming. It is as simple as cooking with any other vegetable, and it provides you a different flavor, a different taste, and adds variety to your table also. With that, I will take your leave. Thank you.